Beautiful ignited souls, we are ready for a new creation. Beautiful ignited souls, I am Crime Queen. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, all subscribers and new subscribers alike. Thank you. This is where we are on the Earth shape. So I did a few videos and thought they might have felt a little intense, particularly for the subject matter, in the sense that this is new information, and I am acknowledging that it was perhaps intense getting to know all the gods in a single presentation. And even though I have done different videos, I just feel that, and Spirit is also encouraging us to look at each God individually. So, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to begin with the created God. Now, in case you're new to this channel, this is where we embark on decoding the scriptures in Genesis of chapter 1, while in the Bible, and particularly the King James Version of the Holy Bible. And of course, if you're new to this channel as well, you may be wondering, what's this device that I am wearing? They're copper glasses, and copper is very protective, and you can do your research around copper being protective against viruses and lots more benefit, even more than protecting you from viruses. I just would like you to delve into the knowledge about copper and the metaphysical aspects or benefits of it. Basically, with my crown on, I am on the fifth dimension. Okay, and I've got my phone as well, so I'm really like copperfied. If there's such a word. Okay. Of course, you can check out our videos on capturing copper to capture by Crime Queen. Anything on copper and Crime Queen, that will lead you onto the right path. So be unafraid to experiment. You could see the fine detail, and of course the spiral effect matches the energetic vibration of how we attract energy and how energy is exchanged. So there is lots to learn about that. So, I am Crime Queen, as I said, and I like to consider myself as your partner on this journey. And of course, I usually say partner in crime because it seemed in many ways like a crime to want to learn how to navigate through these times. Not only that, more of a crime of what we have found and discovered in the Holy Bible, that found themselves with the what had been hidden, but now we are exposing and bringing to light all of this. Now, just in case you are new to this channel, these are the 14 gods that we discovered, and I'm really I'm taking time to go over this because this is so foundational, and I really would like us to appreciate that this is not something that I have just simply devised, but this is very scriptural. This is the core of the scriptures that is being unearthed now. Now, of course, I am getting a deeper sense of the meaning of all this right now because it's a pattern. The gods that come in patterns. It's just like you get in the scriptures that Christ came through the generations, or 14 is very symbolic in that. Now, particularly for the fact that we are in a year 5, meaning 2021, which is also a 5 year, that this 14 goals are now really saying they're coming really they are coming out with a profound, not just profound, but they are coming out with so much energy that if we do not pay attention, they're going to, because that's how the gods operate, they're going to trip us. And then when we fall on our backsides, that's when we meet with them. Just like people get bounced into each or bump into each other in the movies, and then they discover they were together or meant to be together, and that's how the gods really operate. So the people who create those movies or those scenes, they are very in tune with this we are learning here. For instance, the movie series on Netflix called Salvation, this is a lot around number five, and number five is on the screen right now as well. So number five, salvation, also equals five. So you will see when you begin to understand the essence of numerology, you will understand this. For instance, when Darius devised this thing about 116 people or 160 people should be on salvation for in case there was this disaster, the world's coming to an end. Plus 67, and this two, that means the number one, like I have been doing, number one, ONE, actually equals 16. And so you could see that all of these people would be forming that one. They would be 160 is actually also one. And so we have two creations. So this would also be denoting that there would be two sevens, as we have two sevens here in this segment of creation right here. Perhaps it would mean that one would be in that salvation and one would stay behind, like Darius and the prime minister was going to stay behind and to ensure that the world still exists. So there, if we were to do the numerical value, we would find whether it's in their name or something else that they too would come to number seven, and which would be two sevens. So these are the creation here. And this would be like, of course, denoting like we had in 2020. You could see 40 here, 2 plus 2. So it's a apocalypse that happened, and that would bring about another new creation. The new creation, which is of these five gods, of course, would be working with whatever they salvage from this creation, like we are doing right now, like our earth is going or tuning in right now and saying, what can these five senses, whether it's the mouth or the ears or whatever we are left with, can salvage of this creation. Now, to explain a little bit more how the 14 gods are operating here again, you could see the pattern that has evolved here. I would really like and urge that you watch this carefully so you can know I did not devise this. So here is the number of letters, for instance, and there is the value of each word, meaning created has 7 letters and its value is 11. 11 actually is 2, 1 plus 1, because we are talking numerology. And so 2, of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 2, it equals 13. Because of the gift of language that we have been given, numbers and letters, we are able to do this. I have been intuitively guided to find this construct to teach us about the 14 gods of Genesis, that which we are. We are the embodiment of those gods. So it is vital that we understand the gods to understand ourselves. To understand ourselves is to understand the gods. Hence it is said, know thyself. I feel that I did a numerical value on know thyself, and it comes to 14 as well. And just for the pleasure of it, let's just do this quickly and get back to this. So this is another introduction. So, and it's just to show the synchronicity. So no, or seem to be going back to front on this. Oh, I'm sure I had a brush right here. Okay. So it's KNOW, which is 2565, and Thyself, Thyself. So this is 10, 16, 17, 18. So this is 9. 18 is 9, meaning 1 plus 8. And here is 287 for thy, which is 17. So 17 is 1 plus 7 is 8. And self is 1, 5, 3, 6. Adding this together, this is 15, which is 6. So let's add this together. So this is 14 here, which is 5 plus 9 is 14. So we can see that this logo, if you like, this phrase that you hear everywhere in metaphysics, or in on the Egyptian walls, everywhere you see this, that says, or however it's interpreted, because it has been done with high intelligence to let us know or to inform us that this is every person's responsibility, is to know thyself. Now, knowing the gods, as you can see, number 14 here, or 5, corresponds perfectly with the 14 gods right here. 14 gods of Genesis. They are verbatim gods. And more I'm understanding, and I had this message few years ago in 2017 or 2018, I don't clearly remember, but the gods did tell me that the code that I have discovered in the Bible, it's not only the Bible that is coded, that it is every faith book, or the Quran or the Torah or any of those, they all are coded. They are coded. Now I am understanding this a little bit better. They are coded because every one of those have a unique language, not only to its people of that environment of faith, but even in that construct, every person has their unique code that makes that up as well. So it's important. Now, it doesn't mean that if you were under the umbrella of Christianity that you couldn't find your code elsewhere. This is like the path that is necessary for you to follow. So even when you become disappointed with what you may have, it's part of the divine instructing you and showing you how to develop the desire to find that sacred code. And so within, so without, meaning that what's within you is also reflected out, and it's coded in one of those Bibles. So, as we can see here, I have not discovered this from any other place, this which we and you may not see this anywhere else. Again, because the code that I have been instructed or designed by, I have tapped into it. I am thankful for that. I've tapped into it and discovered that unique language. So, in that unique language, with my teachings, I'm unraveling this wisdom. And so, even in this wisdom, is a unique code for you. So basically, I may be explaining all of this in the most succinct way I know how, but it doesn't mean that what you're going to get from it is exactly what I have explained. You may just hear a sound or a resonance that is going to just click into your own makeup. It's because your key and lock have gelled together. So back to what I really want to show you is uncreated. We are going to do this uncreated, is to show that the gift of language here is with 2, and 2 of course has this resonance of 13, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So this is foundational. 4 also has a relationship with 6. When we do the numerical value for the word, which I'm going to do this another time, when we do the numerical value for the word 4, it gives us 6. Likewise, 6 gives us 7. Likewise, 7 gives us 2. I'm perhaps going to just wrap this up so you can see the mathematical construct. And here we have 2. Of course, it's like a circle. It's like a chord, and it was split from one point to another. And then we have 2, 7, 6, 4. Then we have 2. This is where it changes somewhat because there's a new creation. Things are happening in a new way, whether it is in this mathematical way or this one. But I believe this is saying these are the senses, these are the 5 gods in the second creation had partnered with these gods. So for instance, these are the like 9, I call them like the 9 circles on our bodies, although we have more, but some open circles, like we have the open circles, 7 open circles on our head or to our head, and we have 2 open circles below. I call this that this is the God's stamp. They left like their logo on us. And then we have 5. This 5 here, I see it as the 5 senses. And all 5 senses are in communication with those logos, how we make sense of our eyes, because the circles are there, but the touch and the taste and the smell and so on, those 5 senses are these gods right here. And just to wrap this up, because I know I have explained this, but I'm just feeling because it's something new, there needs to be a need to explain it as clear as possible. And the more I do this, of course, the better I become at it. And because, of course, this was new to me too. So what I want you to observe is that we have seen this pattern here. But what is very striking is that you will notice that there is 40 here and 40 here, which coincides with the 40 again, 40 days in the desert, Christ fasting and praying 40 days, and the children of Israel with 40 years, and then the 40 is actually the energetic vibration that sets a foundation. Whatever is required, it's like 40 is a name or a vibration that solidifies an event so one can build upon it. And I want you to observe that the numbers here are very different. These numbers, for instance, which is 7, and I'm hoping you can see this clearly. 7, 5, 4, 3, 7, 6, 4, 3, 7. Now, I'm not sure I did notice anything. There's almost, in fact, I had not noticed this, I don't think. That this is almost like a pattern as well. Almost, not quite. We have 3, 7, 4, 3, 7, or 6, 4, 3, 7. And here we have 6, 4, 3, 7. Okay, but okay, they're quite close in numbers. They just differ with a 5 here instead of having a 6 here. So we can see these are number of letters, people. These are number of letters, not even the values. So we have 14, and to be on number, of course, we are talking about 9. So this would be 6, 4, 3, 7. And here we have 3, 4, 5, 7. So there is only one, it's like one difference here. And it's clear that there seems to be a pattern. So when we learn that everything is a mathematical construct, our world is built on this mathematical construct, this is very true. And this is why I encourage people to actually learn numerology. Now, of course, I'm no master at this, but I am learning at least. Okay. The other thing I want you to notice is these numbers. These numbers here is also 11, 5, 6, 7, 3, 1, 5, 8, 3. These are very different numbers to the numbers on the other side here. If you go on parallel here, you will see 2 is 4, 5 is 6, and 6 is 7, and 7 is 2, and 3 is 2. You will also see 1 is 7, 5 is 6, and 8 is 4, and 3 is 2. So, what we see as numbers here actually are really constructs of vibration. Not, it doesn't seem to me like something we could really equate or even make full sense of, like when you go to the shop and purchase something and you are given some change or decimal numbers or something like that. There seemed to be a direct match of vibration. Basically, 2 would have the value of 4 here. 5 has the value of 6, and 6 has the value of 7, and 7 has the value of 2. This wouldn't make sense to you in the way I am telling you. But people, look at the numbers when added together. They come to 40. Of course, 40 is 4. And look at the numbers here. When we count the value, also comes to 40. 40. So this tells us that when you have 3, for instance, 3, this is why they say perhaps it is said 3 is a crowd or something like that, because it has a hidden factor to it that comes into 2. It's almost like 1 disappears and it's gone through some other motion to bring about newness or something, however you want. But this is where we learn on the events or the how things are shaped or vibration to be able to know what sense to make of numbers. So that when you look at your date of birth, for instance, and if you were a life path number 3, that would mean you are very creative in the sense of 2, because 3 would also give you 2, like it does here, but it also means that it is a master number as 11. And of course, 11 in itself, or asTWO, has the construct and dynamic of the gods, because you have 2 ones right here. 2 can separate and 2 can come together. You would begin to make sense of the dynamic nature of who you truly are. Yes, 3 is like in the Trinity. It's called the Trinity number: Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Also, you hear a lot about Father and Son, meaning like 2. And so there is, or you could, whether it is the sun and moon, whichever way you want to see sun, moon, and stars. So there is a lot of dynamic attitude or attributes rather to the number 3. It also has a W, which means it's made up of W, which means it has the construct, as I say, of 2U reflecting. So I'm going to leave this as another introduction to just let you see that this is not something that I constructed by myself. Now, I wanted to show you as well that how the gods are expressing themselves now, and they want us to know and their nature and how they operate through us. So join me again when I, of course, will be looking at each god individually, so you can begin to get a full image or construct of how the gods are operating through you. So, what can I say? In fact, I am intending to do some some visual constructs around the gods as well, so we could have a visual representation. Do join me again when we examine the gods, people, because the gods are in you. Stay ignited while you delve into this new exploration. I know it may seem a little bit daunting, and that's what newness is about, but this is not the time for us to shy away from what is being revealed to us. This is the time to be open. Otherwise, we will fall flat on our faces and not be ready. Take 2020 for instance, has showed us quite a lot, has woken us up, and this is where the gods are saying, if you don't shift, I will shift you. So stay ignited and united.